Kendrick Bourne from the San Francisco 49ers. You're watching the Niners All Day Show. What up, Bronze? What up, Dre? Let's get it, man. Yee!
What's going on to all the 49 faithful out there, man?
That's been coming to light in 2020. This is a year where...
Let me stop that. That was a big mistake. Hey, man, shout out to all of the faithfuls out there, the true faithfuls. Not these fair weather fans, after we lose a game one of the season and everything is not clicking. And then, it's the end of the world, right? Shout out to the real faithful out there, man. If you haven't subscribed to us already, go ahead and press that subscribe button. It's right down there. Like, it's right down there. Go ahead and press that like button. Like, it's literally right down there on the left-hand side. It says this. All right, man, we're coming to you guys today. We're going to have a little bit more even kelter today. We were able to break down some film and look at some things, and it was a lot of fixable things that could be fixed. We also want to talk about how our offense has never been good week one, especially last week. It took us 4 weeks to get in the groove of things in our offense, right? And it's me and my guy, Jason. What's up, bro?
What's up, Dre? Hey, guys. I promise today that I'm going to be much more even keeled.
Nah, I love that energy, man. Real new. Hey, the jersey came out.
No, I know everybody said that.
The jersey came out.
But I gotta admit, man, if I could have a moment of being self-aware, I feel like I'm a little bit embarrassed at some of the things that I said last night, and it won't happen again. It was a mixture of the alcohol, right, the anger, and that person pushing my buttons. By the way, the Rams won, so best team in the NFL.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And we got another special guest with us today. Hold on, what's going on? We got another guest with us, man. This is my good friend from Nothing But Niners, man. My guy Tony. What's going on?
What's up, Jason? What's up,
Tony? What's up, man? Nice to meet
you.
Jersey in the building.
What's up? I'm sorry.
Jersey in the building, man.
Hell yeah, definitely. Jersey's here.
Yes, sir.
It's going nowhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So I have like 22 topics. Because of the air quality, our air quality over today is like over 205. They called everybody off. I'm a union guy. We work in elements. We weren't able to work. Tomorrow I'm going to get up and go to the work site and see if we're able to work tomorrow. We don't know, right? So I felt that it was necessary for me to do my due diligence and really lock in, go over game film, go over the statistics, go over the schematics of the game, and try to help our faithful understand as to why we lost that game and how horrible we played. And we still were one possession away from winning that game, right? I mean, it's not many times where a team goes 2 of 13 on third downs and they lose by 4 points, right? So we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff. So the first thing that I want to talk about is we were 2 of 13 on third down, and we were 2 of 5 in the red zone, right? You're not going to win games like that, regardless, right? And I just want to hear, from my guys on how this is very fixable and how we shouldn't overreact to a week one loss to a team that we beat by 4 points last year. The second time, I don't count the extra touchdown because that happened on the last play of the game, and it was a fluke play, and Jimmy Ward recovered the ball in the end zone, right? So we beat them by 4 points last time, both times, right? So let's touch on that on the third downs and also the red zone and how that can be fixed. Tony, I want to hear from you first, bro, on how that could be fixed.
Dre, I mean, I think Kyle and Jay, I want to ask you this. Did you feel that this offense looked different?
It looked different because it looked like a preseason game almost. Like they were trying to work through some stuff.
It looked
like for the people that say that you don't want preseason games.
No, listen, I'm 110% on board with that. You need a preseason game. And I honestly feel that this I was watching, I spoke with Mike and the guys at Nothing But Niners, and I was like, bro, something's not right. I've never seen this team in shotgun so damn much in my life. I mean, it was getting to the point where Jimmy, once he got the snap, his feet were like in concrete and he wasn't stepping. He wasn't sliding. Like, I don't know, man. But I think they need to get back to the basics because every time when they needed to get back down the field, what did they do? They went back to their bread and butter. They went back to the I formation. They ran the ball on the outside zone. They did a play action fake. They caught Juice down the sideline on a wheel route, and he was open. And Jimmy's footwork was like good. He dropped back, hit his fifth step, plant stepped, and threw, and the ball was right where it needed to be.
I have one caveat on that Tony. Jimmy Garoppolo's feet work is so much better when he's under center because his feet he has to move. He has to move, right? So Kyle, why go away from that? Jimmy is best when he's moving his feet, when he's coming off of a play action, when he's simply lining up under center because he has to get back and get that ball off, right? And so keep him in that where he has to move his feet. When he's in shotgun, his feet stand still. Yeah. So if you know that, then why do we continue to work in the shotgun?
Yeah, no,
right?
I agree.
I didn't understand that.
I agree 110%. And another thing, last year, when they ran the shotgun, they were motioning the back out of the backfield, and Jimmy would get the ball and he was snapping his wrist and the ball was out of his hands. So it didn't matter if he needed to step or his footwork wasn't good because he was just firing it right out. Right. Now he's getting the snap. He's doing a fake. How many times did he stumble the ball on a fake? Like the ball, he went like this. He bounced, went down and picked it up. Like, I honestly feel like Jimmy was out of his realm. But when they needed to move the ball, what did they do? They went back to the bread and butter and they moved the ball.
Right. Most definitely.
Like, I don't know. And my biggest question, I don't know, Jay, you might agree with this with me, but this whole offseason, when you guys did your 53-man, when we did our 53-man, why do we keep Wilson on the roster?
So it's weird, right? So Jeff Wilson is probably the most equipped of all of our running backs to get an inch on the goal line, right? Right? And
extremely.
And we were talking about it before the show, Dre. That fourth down, that's not on Mostert. And I'll explain.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, you want to get to that later? I'm sorry.
No. Let's talk about that. But Armando Casillas, I hope I pronounced your name correct. Haranis Grasu had zero pressures and zero sacks allowed.
He was fine.
Period. So he's not bad.
He was fine.
Just
you know who
stop
failed
talking.
Yesterday?
Stop talking.
Who failed this yesterday? The right side. McGlinchey and Brunskill. Brunskill, I'm going to give him a little bit more slack because he had no right guard reps in training camp. He was trying to figure out center. So I'm going to give him a break. McGlinchey, though, figure it out. Lincoln Tomlinson allows some pressures too, but Grasu was really good considering that this kid was on the practice squad. When I watched it again, I was like, wow, he actually stepped in and did well. He would have been better than, if they would have put Brunskill there and then moved, our favorite friend Tom Compton over to right guard. So Grasu actually played very well.
He played very well.
They did the right thing by starting him 100%.
For sure. You have to play the guy who understands the center position, right? Regardless if he hasn't gotten reps, he has the experience.
And one thing I feel bad about McGlinchey is the only sack that he gave up is like Jimmy was fumbling the ball, running in circles. Yeah, like McGlinchey held Chandler for 2.5 seconds. Like and on that play, guess who was open in the end zone?
McKinnon. That was McKinnon, right?
Dante Pettis was wide. When Jimmy took that sack and he was fumbling the ball and running in circles, McGlinchey actually did a damn good job against Chandler.
Oh, that's the out route where he did the outbreak.
That's the out route in the end zone. Yeah. Exactly. Mike retweeted it.
He wasn't going through his feeds yesterday. I don't know what was going on with that. And then I think it has to do with level of trust, man. Like Dante Pettis has nobody's trust on this team. No. Not Jimmy, not Kyle, not anybody. And you saw it. When I watched that deep target again, I got mad all over again, dude. I think Dante Pettis, all he would need is Dre, you play basketball, right? It's almost like when you're shooting bricks and you get to the hoop and you put a layup in and you see the ball go through the hoop, all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I'm good now. And Pettis needs to get the ball rolling in the right direction. The problem is, it's like, dude, I don't see the fire. I don't see the spark. And it's hard to trust right now. And Jimmy clearly doesn't trust him, and neither does Kyle.
Exactly, man. So we'll get to that later. We're going to talk about. No, that's all good. No, bro, don't. I always want you to say to talk your shit, but we're going to talk about
want
we're going to talk about the snap count between Dante Johnson and Jordan Reed. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
That's a topic.
So the fourth down, though, Dre, the fourth down, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. We'll do it when we do the film breakdown. I'm going to show you guys exactly what happened, right? So what happened was, and this is what I mean about preseason games and why this is all fixable. Guys, it's not doom and gloom. A lot of this stuff is fixable. A lot of this stuff is fixable.
Exactly.
I was pissed last night, and then when I watched it today, I'm much more encouraged. Picture the 49ers playing their worst game of the season and losing by 4 points. And little things are the things that are killing them. Let me explain. On the 4th and goal, what happened was Charlie Warner's on the end to block. Charlie Warner loses his footing a bit and allows his assignment to get through. Now, Brunskill comes and pulls, and Trent Williams pulls the other way, but they bump into each other. And it's a slight bump, but it's enough for Brunskill to be a step slow pulling into the hole, and Raheem Mostert's met right at the goal line, and that's the reason that play didn't go through. If Brunskill's there on time, touchdown Raheem Mostert. So, again, think about that. Think about missed opportunities. That's all fixable. Once Brunskill gets his reps and they start running through that, he's not going to bump into Trent again. And Warner just slipped. Warner didn't get beat on the block.
Right, he slipped.
Right. Yeah. So there's so much to clean up. But it's fixable, guys. It's fixable.
Right. All right, let's talk about the next topic, and that is, so we've seen DJ Jones in one of his pressers, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, when he came back to practice. He said that the two defensive linemen that made the hugest steps in camp this year were Kentavious Street and Kevin Givens, right? Before the game starts, it was like 15 minutes before the game starts, they announced that Kevin Givens is inactive, and they activate Dante Johnson. We were on the way to a blowout. If that punt wouldn't have got blocked, we were going to blow this team out the water, bro. I seen it. Everything was clicking, right? Last year, Kyle Juszczyk, he played up back.
That's what I was just going to ask you. What the hell is Dante Johnson doing as the up?
Why? Why? Tony, why, bro? Why, Tony?
Dante Johnson deserves blame, but I want to give credit to the special teams coordinator.
It was definitely schemed up good.
Because, yes, that was perfectly schemed up. They sent two guys in the hole, and Dante Johnson just did a piss-poor job of trying to guard any of them, but it was schemed up very well. And what the guy did is he put his hand down towards the foot level. He didn't run into him or anything like that.
But you're a pro. Like, Tony, okay, bro, so look, if you're about to give up a big play, Tony, what do?
Hold him.
I would do anything.
You force the penalty.
Of course. I would take their legs out and take the penalty.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Dude, take the penalty. Our defense was clicking all night. Like, and I heard so much stuff about we're going to talk about that too, man. 4 out of the 5 penalties that were called against us were on scoring drives for the Arizona Cardinals, and we're going to talk about that too. Our defense did an awesome damn job. I don't want to hear nobody coming in our chat talking about our defense. They balled out. Kyler Murray had like 68 passing yards without DeAndre Hopkins. That's a damn good job. I'm sorry.
I see a lot of negative against the defensive line as far as Kinlaw, who actually graded out pretty decently. D Ford, they're saying he's running in quicksand. I said this on Nothing But Niners. I'm telling you, this team rushed very afraid, very timid. They didn't pin their ears back. They were trying to keep him in the pocket, and it just wasn't working.
That's a good point.
So I honestly think Bosa was an animal. Yeah. Bosa was a complete animal. Kerry Hyder had a solid game. I think Kevin Givens had a solid game.
Solomon Thomas did a damn good job. Like, our defensive line, they look good.
My thing is, this defensive line, the get-off wasn't there across the line. So that tells me that they were rushing very timid. They didn't want to open up those holes, which wound up happening anyway. But, that wasn't your 49er defensive line. Even without Buckner.
Here's a question that I have to ask you guys. I'm going to ask both of you guys. Are we missing something about what happened with the way that this team came out? And what I mean by that is it healthy for players to breathe in smoke for how many days?
Not at all. Yeah.
And then get them out there on the field?
I agree with you.
I think we're discounting the fact that these guys have been practicing in air quality. That's horrible. The defense was gassed. And the defense was gassed because the offense lacked continuity. They're getting to the field quickly and putting the defense back on the field.
The time of possession was only 3 minutes difference. Man, the penalty, we'll get to that, man. But It
mentioned
was bad. It was bad.
I mentioned this to Mike and Wayne, and I said I felt like that was the Super Bowl all over again. This game, and it's not because of the score. It's not because they lost the game at the end. It's because the defensive line was again gassed. Okay, they're allegedly working out Ziggy Ansah. He's in for a visit. They're going to COVID test him. I think he's going to sign, and I think he is needed. Okay, you could say what you want. He's garbage. He's old. He's washed up. I'm not looking for him to come in.
Man can rush the quarterback.
I'm looking at him to spell, to give Bosa a break, to give Ford a break. And you can't give speed guys a break with Kerry Hyder. Not a knock against him, but that's not his game.
That's not his game. Yeah.
He looked good yesterday, though.
That man was 100%, Dre. 100%. He played one. Honestly, I was going to give him the game ball if I was definitely. He was my guy for the game ball. But I just feel they need another piece to keep this rotation going. And
that's it.
And another big thing, and other people disagree with me, other people saying it was an excuse. There's two things. That one drive where they came down and scored on all those penalties, though all those penalties were absolutely bullshit. Horrendous. But I'm not trying to say it's an excuse, but I'm telling you how it is. That was a safety if I ever seen one. That holding was clearly offensive holding, not against Kwan Williams. The personal foul against Hyder, you clearly see him go over him and do a push-up.
Come on.
I mean, what do you want the guy to do? The guy's sliding at your legs. He's taking your legs out. You are going to land on him.
Right.
But my biggest gripe with this game was the crowd. No crowd.
Yeah.
That noise, I would rather not play a effing thing, and I'd rather not hear nothing because there was a point in the game where Hopkins made a big play and it got louder.
Well, it's NFL Films basically drumming up crowd noise, so it's not going to react the right way. I mean, I agree with you on that, Tony. Like, I never thought of that. Honestly, I feel like after like the first half, I kind of just like was like, all right, I'm used to it now. Like, it was almost eerie, like when baseball started and there was nobody in the crowds. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's annoying. Like, I don't know.
But then it's like this is it. Like, this is just this is just what we got to deal with in COVID land in 2020. So
yeah. All right, man. Next topic, man. We're going to talk about taking advantage of turnovers. If you guys weren't watching, Nick Bosa and Quan Alexander both forced fumbles.
They did, and we couldn't score on them.
The technique
punched that right out.
Was that not the best technique you've seen?
That was beautiful,
bro. Bro,
what do they call it? The peanut punch? They call it the peanut punch.
Bro, that was so beautiful. I lost my mind when I seen that. Even though we didn't recover it, that's the type of stuff that we want to see from our players is forcing turnovers. We just have to be there to jump on the ball. Because I wanted to, we're going to talk about the bad today, but I just wanted to get into some of the positives, right? Seeing that Quan Alexander is by himself, there's nobody around, and instead of going like Fred Warner did, Fred was trying to kill everybody yesterday and missed 3 tackles, right? He had a tackle for loss against Kenyon Drake and just fell flat on his face because Kenyon Drake spun out of his way. Quan assessed the play. He said, we're going to try to get a turnover right now. He punches the ball out. Same thing with Bosa, right? I think that is some good things that we could look at because in other games, there's going to be guys around and we're going to recover those balls. And those were game-changing plays, right? I want to hear from you guys, in whatever order. I don't care, bro. This is a round table, right?
Jay, no, you're good. You're first. I went first last time.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that everything that you just said speaks to how close the 49ers were to winning this game and how all this stuff is fixable. A bounce here, a bounce there, all of us. Like, this is guys, like bro. This show, like yesterday, my reaction to the game was very real, was the way that I felt in that moment. But I think we all just need to sit back a little bit, and now that we have time to sleep on it and learn, a lot from what we saw, the 49ers were close in this game. They shot themselves in the foot. The 49ers, like we said yesterday, beat themselves more than the Cardinals beat them. It's just facts. That's it, guys. And the thing is, all of this stuff is fixable. It's going to be fine. Do not listen. Don't start talking about Nick Mullins. Don't start talking about Antonio Brown. Don't start talking about Des Bryant. Don't start talking about.
Hey, hold on. We can talk about AB.
But he has to get signed before he could start the suspension. So it's not like he just lost his first game and he's got 7 left.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So the thing is, guys, everything is okay. Okay, this felt like the 49ers. Remember the Denver preseason game? We talked about it. Remember, everybody was like, "Oh my God, look at this!" Looked like a team that was working through its issues that they should have been working through in preseason. It just so happened that this was regular season game 1 and not preseason game 3. The dress rehearsal. So, guys, there's so many things, little things that when you watch, if they go the other way, the 49ers win this game. Now, there are things that can't be fixed sometimes. Then we'll get to that later on down the line. But most of what happened yesterday can be fixed for sure.
Right. Hold on, Tone. Rome. So you got into a spat with Jason last night. We spared you, right? Bro, please do not come in our chat being disrespectful to one of our commentators. Jason has. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can't.
Tony, can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Tony can hear me, bro. All right.
Better?
Rome. I can hear you.
Right.
We hear you.
We hear you. Yeah.
I can't hear any of you guys now. I don't know what happened.
Hop out.
Let me leave real quick. I'll pop back in.
Let me leave.
I'll pop right back in.
Hey, Rome, I just want to address it, bro. Yesterday, we did not call you out of your name. We didn't do any of that. We addressed your comments. You called Jason a clown, and you went into a cussing escapade, right? We just don't get down like that, bro. We appreciate you being here with us and supporting what we do here at Niners All Day, because without any of you guys, this is not possible, right? But please just don't disrespect one of our co-hosts.
Oh, that's like I get. You know what? Let me take the high road. I apologize. I shouldn't be talking to anybody like that. Apologies. All
right. We're gonna move on. Tony, let's talk about those 2 turnovers, bro, and how it's actually a positive to see that we were going for the turnovers. They just didn't bounce in our way last night.
It's very positive, and like you guys said, there are fixable problems, but I just feel, and I'm going to say it again, this was week 1 of the preseason for this team, and that's it. Bro. That's it, and it's tough when you don't have a preseason, even though they say, "Oh, it's bowl." The starters don't play. No.
We need that.
You're still in the game atmosphere. You come out for the first 2-3 series. You're still getting reps as a unit. Like, I just feel that. And another thing, I said this to Mike on the phone earlier. How bad was it to face a team like that coming out at week 1, with no preseason, anything like that? Going up a complex offense like that, and it's just kind of like, even though they had all this time to prep, but really, how much time did they have to prep? They had 18 days, and it was part of the 18 days you weren't even allowed to put helmets and shoulder pads.
Right, that's another good point, man. It's like, how ready was this team as far as like game speed? Like the Steelers, they've been hitting all camp. I expect them to come out in 2 hours and blow the doors off the Giants, not because they're better than them, but they're going to be prepared, man.
Yeah, like each coach has his own philosophy, so you know what I'm saying, like. I'm okay with it. We got to push this game behind us. We're only team in the division with no win, so it is what it is. Now we just got to go forward, focus, and go forward. But I don't know, man. It just sucks. We had this game.
I want to pull like there's a quick caveat. People have to realize last year our offense didn't start clicking until Game 5.
Yeah,
people forget. We beat the Bucks because we got 2 pick sixes and we pulled away 17 points.
Correct.
We weren't like killing him. Jimmy had 169 and a touchdown and an interception. Game 2, we had 5 turnovers. Tony, you were at that game, bro. You were physically at that game. How horrible was our offense?
I was going.
You were there.
Let me tell you something. I almost got in a fight with people up in those stands over that game.
Even the 49ers.
That they don't deserve.
Tone got into an argument with Mike and Nick.
Yeah. Like that, I flat out said, I said, there's no way in hell they're winning this game. They don't deserve to win this game. They should be blown out by 42-3 right now.
Right.
Well, if Ben Roethlisberger was there
then the following week after,
he was out. They had Randolph.
The following week after, bro, against the Browns, we only scored. What did we score against the Browns? It was 20-3. It's not like our offense was a juggernaut yet.
No.
But this offense takes some time to digest. So I just wanted to get into that.
And especially now with no preseason games. You're talking about them remember, week 1, you're not going to be playing anybody in preseason. Week 2, you'll probably let the offense take one or two series. Week 3, you're going to give your that's the dress rehearsal. You'll give your starters the entire half. And then week 4, everybody rests. Even then, last year, the 49ers came out flat. And still, but again, remember, look, last year, our wide receivers starting were
the same ones now.
Goodwin played in week 1. I was in Tampa. Goodwin played. Pettis didn't play. Pettis barely played. Goodwin played. Debo didn't even really play. Debo fumbled in that game. There's a lot to, look, first of all, they didn't really have the personnel groupings, right? Like, it took Debo Samuel about a half a year before he finally figured out
Game 8 against the Cardinals.
Correct.
Game 8, week 8.
Right.
He went off.
Right.
He had 131.
So it's hard to watch, them shoot themselves in the foot, but then just start to look at it through the lens of, man, everybody needs reps. Everybody needs reps. Nobody just shows up one day. Tom Brady looked awful yesterday. Drew Brees looked awful yesterday. Those are your GOATs. Do you want to replace them? Is it doom and gloom for them? But they have a larger track record. That's why you're allowing it to go on.
Both of those quarterbacks did not look overly great yesterday. Drew Brees, his stats look just like Jimmy G's, except he had one more touchdown. Tom Brady was 2 for 2, 200, and he threw a pick 6. Tom Brady has thrown a pick 6 in his last 3 games that he's played, right? Yeah. Including the playoffs last year. So that was
Trey. The chat popping though. Somebody donated.
Oh man, I definitely appreciate the donation. I
think it was Mark Espinoza. I think.
Yeah, I didn't like what I seen because I didn't read it.
I'm in the chat now. Shout out to the chat. Hi everybody that's saying hi to me. This is cool.
Hey Mark, we appreciate it, but we never said Jimmy was elite, but he's a damn good quarterback. But we're gonna get into Jimmy a little bit later. Mark, I'm sorry, bro. I definitely appreciate you for donating. Like I said, without you guys,
just real quick, as bad as we played, we still had that opportunity to win.
Exactly.
And I just feel like, I mean, my personal opinion, I didn't get the chance to rewatch it because I was with the kids today. But my personal opinion, I think Kyle has to take some of the blame for this. I really do. And I mean, Jimmy was playing poor, but the looks that Kyle came out with.
Let's rephrase that. Jimmy played poor in the second half. The first half was immaculate. He was 9-12, 153, 1 touchdown.
Correct. And that's when Kyle started to get cute.
Right.
That's where he started doing his weird things. But I mean, listen, it is. Oh my God, the Mets finally got sold. Sorry.
A-Rod.
No,
Steve Cohen.
Okay.
Finally it went through. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring the Mets up. But,
no, it's all good, bro.
What was I saying? Yeah, I honestly think Jimmy wasn't comfortable. I feel like Kyle was bouncing him in between packages, like the shotgun 2 running backs, then go to the I formation, run the ball, play action, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and it just wasn't – he wasn't getting in that rhythm. And there was a point in the first quarter, in the first half, I called Mike. I said, listen, Kyle's starting to get in the zone, and that's when they were moving the ball. Kyle was specifically going after that rookie, Simmons.
Right. He
said, screw it. You want to be Mr. Big? Let's see how you play versus the big. Exactly. He went right at him, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, it just became what's going on? He revved out of the gate, scored, got up 10-0, and then he pulls it back.
Right. Yeah.
No, man, you got to go for the jugular. You got to go. Keep going.
Yeah. Exactly.
See, and I think that's a pitfall of Kyle, man. He's like I watch the film and I get blown away and I have a blast watching it. And then sometimes he just gets completely conservative and maybe he's overthinking it. Maybe it's he's a victim of his own genius. It's baffling because I don't even have an answer.
Jason, you just said it.
I think he was just trying to do whatever he could to get out of this game. He tried to mix everything up.
Victim of his own.
Correct.
Yes.
To keep Arizona off guard. I think he was trying everything. And exactly. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's take it back to the Super Bowl. That same play that Mostert ran, I think 2 or 3 times, where they're both in the shotgun. Juice goes this way.
No, please don't, Tony. Don't. Please.
No. Juice goes that way, and then he hits. Well, I won't say nothing then.
All right, no, go ahead, bro.
They run that long sweep coming across the formation. He's not that running back to do that.
No,
He's
he's not.
a downhill one-cut runner. If you remember the Super Bowl, who ran that play? Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Tevin Coleman, man, for also, playing as little as he did with the sickles. And he looked good, man. He looked good, man. So
I wouldn't allowed him to play personally. I would have told him.
And especially when you have McKinnon, you have Mostert, and you have Jeff Wilson, who you obviously trust. I just would have said, you know what, Coleman, I would have had him sit for the game, and I would have rather brought up somebody else, right? Like a wide receiver. Where we could have had, Kevin White out there. We could have had anybody.
Man, shout out we got another contributions, man. You guys are on fire right now. We appreciate you guys. Why do we make adjustments when we don't have to and don't make them when we should?
Ryan, that's the question. That's the $1 million question. And I don't know if I have an answer for that. I really don't, Ryan.
I don't.
I don't
have an answer for it.
That's
you got to ask Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, it's him and Salah, though. Remember, we talked about it yesterday. If DeAndre Hopkins is killing you and no one else is doing anything, shade someone over to his side.
Yeah. David.
Kevin White.
Hey, no, David said Dre be vaping like a
dragon.
Yes, bro. I'm a vapor, bro. I smoked cigarettes for a long time, and my honey, she has lung problems. She is actually at risk when it comes to this COVID thing.
Oh shit.
And this literally saves our relationship. So yes, she told me I had to stop smoking.
I see something in the chat too that's actually really interesting. And can you pull it up from Aaron Garcia? He says that Sherman should have followed Hopkins every.
He followed him the first 2 quarters.
They did it.
And Hopkins had two receptions for. I think he had 3 receptions for 23 yards.
They went to a man. They played man.
Right.
They played true press man. And that is what Tony Oden, the new defensive back coach, is specialized in.
Hi, Joe Woods. We want you back. We miss you.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Listen, no.
Robert Saleh changed that
Listen,
up.
I met Joe Woods. Great dude. Took a picture of him and all. Great guy. And he did what he did his thing with that secondary last year. But now with all these speedy receivers, they got to play man. They got to be physical off the line. Because in my opinion, what I said on the preview show 2 days ago, was if I was Arizona, I'm putting Kirk on Sherman all day and letting him run because Sherman couldn't keep up with him.
Well, all Kirk did was one defensive pass interference, I think a deep shot or whatever. That was it.
Exactly, and that would have been Sherman. If they attacked
Hold on.
Now what?
Lewis, what are you talking about, bro? So three receptions for 22 yards getting posterized. Lewis, stop it. Will you? All right, we're gonna move on, bro. That's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off. Okay, so Ricky B, man, we appreciate you, bro. Look at you. You getting your swole on, man. Okay. Let's not throw Jimmy to the wolves after a bad game, the start of the season. If we lose to the Jets, then we're in serious trouble. Gold-blooded empire. Most definitely, man. Let's move on to the next subject, though, because we 33 minutes in. I'm really liking this. Man, Tony, I appreciate you for coming on.
Man, this is awesome, man.
I appreciate you guys. Kinlaw, 39 snaps, 81.4 PFF, 1 tackle for loss, 2 tackles, and repeatedly on his one-on-ones, he made whoever was guarding him look stupid. Would have had 2 sacks. If it was Sam Darnold, Kinlaw would have had 2 sacks.
Oh, because he's gonna sit in the pocket.
I seen it, bro. One of the sacks, he was right there, and the defensive lineman kind of pushed him in his back, and he fell on his face. The other one, Kyler, he dodged him a little bit and hop skipped to the left, and he took off, and Quan chased him and tackled him, right? But, man, good Lord. How do you guys feel about Kinlaw? I feel really good because Buckner has 6 sacks. He had 6 tackles yesterday and a tackle for a loss. But he ain't had no impact yesterday.
I rewatched the Colts game for that reason. I wanted to see Buckner. I wanted to see what he was. And I'm not trying to. I love DeForest Buckner. I am not trying to slight him. I'm just letting you know that everybody across the league started slow a little bit. Everybody except for like Aaron Rodgers. Everybody had a bit of a rust period. Everyone. Watch the games over. Watch them over. You'll see it. You'll see penalties. You'll see missed assignments. You'll see mental issues.
Hey, Big D said it, bro. Kinlaw walked his man to the quarterback.
He did it twice. I saw it.
Right.
Twice.
Right. Yeah, Tone, how do you feel about Kinlaw, bro? 39 snaps. 39 snaps, 81.4 PFF. And I've seen so many people say he was not visible. Like, what are people watching the same thing that we're seeing?
Listen, I think you got to realize something. Kinlaw, he played a SEC competition, which is next to NFL, better than some Big 12 schools, in my opinion. I think the SEC is probably the best competition in college, but he had one move in college. He was a man amongst kids. Like,
right, it was a bull rush.
Freaking people over. He's got to learn that secondary move, and until he really works on that, I think that's when you'll see him take that next step. But I'm going to tell you what, he's in the perfect fit with the perfect scheme, perfect coach, and it's going to come. And he physically twice put two people, walked them like the gentleman said, walked him back to the quarterback. Okay,
right.
That is what you want to see. It's not like he's getting blown 4 yards off the ball, but those
comments bother me. Those comments bother me because
Go ahead. Real truth. Without the pick six, the Saints would have won by 4 points.
What game did we watch? Michael Thomas hurt his ankle yesterday. And stop pointing out the three people that played well across the league. Yesterday, there was a lot of sloppiness. Stop pointing out Lamar Jackson, who played well. He did. Stop pointing out a team that played well. They did. There's 32 teams. I can guarantee you more than half of them weren't doing things correctly just yet.
Yeah. All right, Tone, go back to Kinlaw, bro. Good Lord.
Sorry. Good. I was looking at the
It's all good. So getting back to what I was saying, he did his part. Fast tempo offense for a big guy like that. He's going to struggle. He's going to get winded. He's got to work on his cardio. When they face Arizona again, I don't know when they're playing him again, but I promise you he will be better. He will be in more game shape, more game experience.
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be positive. It's all learnings. This is week one. This is his first rep versus another opponent. Like, this is why preseason is important. We need 4 games? No. Do I think
at least 2?
One? Yes. At least one tune-up game. Just one. And let them play. Just let them play.
Most definitely.
Hold up real quick, Drake. I think why everybody is like saying that Kinlaw, didn't do anything is because you didn't hear his name called. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not having an impact. And I'll explain. So we talked about the 2 pressures, right? Right after the 4th down, the first play off of the 4th down, Kinlaw beat Valdir with hand moves. And that's something that we never saw. We saw bull rushes. So he tried to put hands on him. He knocked his hands off him, and he has a beeline for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray just turned and chucked it to Hopkins to get out the way. So just because someone's name isn't being called by the broadcasters and isn't getting sacks doesn't mean that he's not impacting. That's the difference when you watch it over again. Just because he gets the ball out, he looked pretty good yesterday. I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
And another thing that people don't take into consideration, why did he rush for 90 yards? I'm going to tell you why. He was under pressure from the middle of the defense. Were they, gap integrity? Did they stick to their gap integrity? No, but they applied pressure, which forced him to take off.
Also, Tony, how many of his big runs came on plays right after they extended the drive on penalties?
Oh, all of them. That play, that one drive was a joke. I'm sorry. I'm not going to.
They literally walked them down. They walked them down the field with 2 huge penalties.
3. There was 45 yards in penalties. They went right down the field. 45 yards. I'm sorry. 45 yards is almost half of a football field.
And do you know how many penalties? So we had 5 penalties called against us. Do you know how many of them came to extend the drive?
1, I think.
No, 4
for us.
On us against the Cardinals. 4 of our 5 penalties came to extend both scoring drives for the penalties.
I thought you were talking about what we got. We got one. One drive extended from a penalty.
Yeah, that's it. All right, man. Let's talk about Trent Williams. Good Lord. Ooh. He worked, and I said this. Chandler Jones would not get a pressure. He wouldn't get a sack. Against Trent Williams, he didn't. He worked Trent Williams so bad in the first half that they did not play Chandler Jones not one more time on Trent Williams.
They were like, move him to the right. They were like, let him go try over there at this point. He's not.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. That's what they did. And then when they brought him back, they stacked the linebacker just off to his right in a 2-point stance. And that is post-Kittle injury.
Right.
Where he was, again, in line blocking, not going out in a pattern. Now, the question is, was that for protection or is that knee really screwed up? But, yeah, other than that, I on that side coming from the left,
that's true.
That's
go ahead,
100%
sorry,
true.
That's 100% true.
That, and
that's the other thing. That's the other thing, right? Is it Jimmy going through his progressions, getting happy feet, holding the ball? All of these things are true. All of these things happen at different times in the game, right? Yeah. The part that I would say is more troubling from all of them is not really the happy feet, because once you start to see the protection get better, you're not going to have that anymore. I start to get nervous at you missing wide open reads. You not seeing, like, if you already understand where the play is going, right? And you start looking through your progressions, you kind of got to know where guys are on the backside, right? Like that play that you guys talked about, Mostert boogieing by himself in the end zone, man. Like, if Jimmy just turns, he doesn't even have to put anything on the throw. He's that open. He can just go like this and get rid of it. So I think that that's the part that's more troubling. The other stuff, the holding the ball, the protection, all that stuff can be fixed. All that stuff will be fixed once Ben Garland comes back, once we get Richburg back, once Brunskill gets a bunch of reps at right guard. I'm not worried about him, honestly. I think that this was just a rough moment in where he's going to be this year.
If anybody thinks that these guys aren't watching film right now, ready to get back to practice tomorrow, you got another.
No, they're definitely. What time?
Oh my God,
they've been watched the film already. What time? It's 2:00 out there. 2:42.
2:42.
Well, Kyle's gonna talk at 3:30. So we're gonna learn a lot. Or 3:30 their time. For me, it's gonna be 6:30. But Kyle's gonna talk. I think I want to hear his takeaways, because I don't want to listen to him right after the game. What do coaches always say? Got to see the film. Today, I want to listen to him talk, because yesterday, I'm going crazy and I'm like saying a bunch of crazy things, but once you get to settle down and you get to watch it again, then you start to see it. So I think that Kyle's going to come with, a little bit more information on what we struggled with. And I'm interested to hear about this Kittle injury, even though he texts Mike Silver saying he's good to go.
Don't buy it.
I can see how your knee feels fantastic.
Listen, don't buy it.
I'm not buying it, because his knee was fine after Arizona, or his ankle was fine after Arizona that one time. Remember?
And then I'm telling you right now, he's missing next week. I can tell you right now, the way that joint hyperextended, he's missing next week. I can promise you that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy.
No. It's realistic. I when he said his knee felt fantastic, I'm like, how?
You saw it, because immediately you saw. Now, I played football. I played at a small school for the first year, and then I did what I had to do, and I stopped. As soon as that happened, he landed. He grabbed his knee. Your first reaction, if you're grabbing your knee, you're in pain. Something's up. And I'm telling you, it might not be torn, but it's probably at least a second-degree strain.
And that's on Jimmy.
100% that's on Jimmy.
Kittle plays next week.
You think so,
You
Trent?
think so?
Hell yeah. Kittle plays next week. If it would have been that bad, Kittle would not have came back into the game. They did a quick x-ray. They seen that nothing was tore. He might have a strain or something.
He's having an MRI today, right?
The MRI is today.
Yeah, but the thing is, you could do an X-ray and you could see if there's anything tore.
X-rays don't show tears. They only show breaks. And he would have to go for an MRI to show.
MRI is a soft tissue.
Hey, well, the thing is, these trainers are so good, bro. They know when something is tore, right? How many times have we seen guys and they say, "Yeah, it's looking like a torn ACL." As soon as something happens. Nothing was tore. We're not even going to talk. We're not even going to speak.
I'm going to give you just a quick thing before we move on. He said coming out of the locker room, he was 100%, right? He ran out onto the field. There was a report by the sideline reporter saying Jimmy's 100%. He's ready to go back into the game. He had his helmet in his hand and all. How many catches did he have in the second half?
0.
How many targets?
0.
Well,
that says something.
The injury affected him
because McGlinchey was getting killed.
No, he was, and the injury affected him. And Vance Joseph actually really, really adjusted well, because you know what he did once he saw George Kittle killing him.
He had a single man high. He literally had. I've never seen an NFL defense spy a tight end until yesterday. I ain't seen it, and that's what he did to George Kittle.
Yeah.
And there were still a couple of plays where George was open and Jimmy should.
Yep.
But we'll talk about that. Next subject. The backbreaker drive. The refs walked the Cardinals up the field 92 yards. They were on the 8-yard line. We played a damn good defensive set. Matter of fact, we did it twice, right? There was an intentional grounding call. They called a holding on K1. I rewatched the play. You can't even see the 4 on K1's jersey because DeAndre Hopkins is
and that's what I said earlier.
Yep.
That was clearly he got the call because he's deep. He's Hopkins. I'm telling you,
if it's a call that it's either a non-call or a call on Hopkins. Like I don't see how that go. Like and because remember that play is going this way. Kyler is looking this way.
Exactly.
What effect did that have on this play? None. Also, guys, Ross Reynolds just got waived. Breaking news.
That means they're signing Ansah.
Probably. They're clearing way. They're clearing way for that. So there's that. We're breaking news on this show now.
Jason.
I got my sources. I know a guy.
Jason.
I know a guy.
I'm so proud of you, bro.
I know a guy, yo. You know what I mean?
You know a guy or two, bro. You know a few guys. Man, we definitely appreciate that, man. Breaking news, man. Ross Reynolds wave. That means that we're making room for Ziggy Ansah. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes. So I just wanted to hit on that. Also, next topic. Everybody's raving about Kyler Murray. I didn't see it.
Oh.
I didn't see it. Look. He had 230 passing yards. 154 of those came to one guy.
Yep.
So that means this man had 50. He had 56 plus 4. He had 60 passing yards otherwise than DeAndre Hopkins. The rest was broken down plays. Sin, I love you, sweetheart. You know I love you, Sin, with the $10 contract. We love you, Sin. Everybody raves about this guy, bro. Plays break down, and he's fast enough to run to the flats and get a first down. Does that make him great? No. Like he had 60 passing yards other than DeAndre Hopkins, right? That shit ain't gonna happen the next time we play the Cardinals.
Tony,
I guarantee.
How many yards did Christian Kirk have yesterday?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. Maybe under 50. I don't know the exact. No, didn't he had one catch, didn't he?
For 0 yards, Tony.
He dropped it. He dropped it, Tony. He's talking about that
behind the line.
where he dove for the ball.
He caught it behind the line.
He caught it behind the line, and Sherm got him.
Larry Fitzgerald was there as the little security blanket. Dan Arnold had more catches. Again, this is what I just said about what they did to Kittle. Vance Joseph recognizes that he's getting killed, even though they brought in their Kittle stopper, Isaiah Simmons. I'm looking at you. You got bait, not just by Kittle. But Vance Joseph recognizes I need to clamp on Kittle and make him throw to somebody else. Where's the similar adjustment, Salah? Make him throw the ball to someone else.
Yep.
Now, just a quick question before you move on. Kyle teased us with a 2 tight end set using Reed.
Why didn't he do it more? Why?
10. So what was it? 12 snaps for Jordan Reed? 10, 12, something like that?
I don't even know.
10 snaps, targeted twice.
2 catches for 12 yards. But what happened to that?
So that's a good point because I was thinking about the same thing too. And it's like if you're down receivers, right? And Jordan Reed was eating on Campbell and anybody else that was guarding him. And this doesn't look like a guy to me that didn't play ball all last year, But it's baffling. Like I really hope that somebody asks today and Kyle at least tries to give some sort of answer about what if I was guessing, let me put myself in Kyle Shanahan's shoes, he'll probably say that he wants to ease him in slowly. Right. But in this game, you notice that you don't have guys that are getting open. You notice that you have one guy that is getting open. Again, it's a little bit frustrating, but again, we have to trust that they're going to take the film back and they're gonna make sure that it's just the in-game adjustments at times. They everything was so vanilla on offense and on defense, so vanilla. Like just nothing. Like rushing 4 at Kyler Murray is not. You're not supposed to speed rush him all the time like that. I don't understand what they were. And then they bring K1 into
goodbye, Wing Chun.
What?
I saw that. I was not saying that.
What did he say?
He said Kyle Shanahan sucks, Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. Goodbye. We're not going with it today.
Well, but yes, I wanted to see Jordan Reed be used more, especially when you're thinking about like when I found out Debo and Ayuk weren't going to be playing. I'm like, oh well, here it is. This is going to be Jordan Reed time. Like it has to be.
Definitely going 2 tight end set.
Right. I thought they were just going to kill them with 21 personnel the whole time, honestly. But it's crazy because this game feels like two different games. Right before the block punt, this looks exactly like, you know, how a lot of 49er fans, including Trey, had it drawn up. Blowout, not close, 49ers get rolling. Block punt happens, score a touchdown, everything starts to become, all right, let's not lose the game instead of trying to win the game.
Right. Yeah.
I think Shanahan was trying to do the least minimum to get out of there and just try to get the W and get out.
Same thing he thought he could do against Atlanta. And can I ask you guys a question? Because now we have a track record of this.
This game looks exactly like the
Atlanta
Falcons game.
Can I ask you guys a question? Julio Jones, running all by himself, catch all the passes you want. DeAndre Hopkins, run by yourself, catch all the passes you want. Wouldn't you try to take that option away? You know, I have more questions today for Saleh than I do for Kyle. Kyle's thing is something that we've seen a bunch of. Like, we've seen it over his career. He's done it not only with us, right? Where he gets into these moments of just like weird play calling, but the defense, man, like why are you allowing Julio Jones to be out there by himself? Nobody's guard, no two man, you know, same thing with Hopkins. It's like, why, what is the reason? Like, what do you like? You have to change up what you're doing. And it's so vanilla, man. That cover three, so vanilla. The play that Hopkins was wide open on, right? Brian Baldinger is the only one who has the all 22 at this point, right? Because he's an NFL worker. That's a complete miscommunication. It's zone on the bottom and man on the top. And three guys watched DeAndre Hopkins run right past them and didn't even breathe on him.
I'm happy Jaquaski Tart like realized it and got over there, got on the hump and got over there at the last second because he would have scored. Like, and Jaquaski looked right at Jimmy, and I was like, "Yep, Jimmy, that was your guy. It was your guy."
They all were looking at each other like, you know, three of you guys just let him boogie, and it's like, come on, man. Again, you know Hopkins is killing you. Don't let him run across your face and let him get into that space right there.
Yeah. Gabriel Morales, let's feature you, bro, before we get you up out of here. Still salty. No, the Cardinals. When was the last time the Cardinals been to the playoffs?
Not even that. Let me ask you a question, Gabriel. This is serious. I'm not even going to try to talk down to you. Your team won yesterday. Right. Yet here you are. Right. We live rent-free in your head? Right. What you doing here? Enjoy your victory. Yeah, watch NFL. Watch NFL Game Day on ESPN. Watch your highlights. What you doing here?
Gabriel, goodbye. Boom. Go ahead and press the dislike. All right. That's what I love about having your own platform. You can just get them up out of here.
It's crazy because it was happening to me last night too. When I started to go back and look at the comments, salty, big red, bro. Right. Why are you here? If we were to beat the Cardinals, I'm not jumping on their lives and being like, y'all trash. I'm gonna be out here enjoying life.
Exactly.
Enjoy yourself, man. Stop being a troll once in your life.
Let's talk about a good thing from Jimmy. The last 3 years, Jimmy has a combined 1, 2, 3 interceptions in the last 2 years he has started, right? 0 interceptions yesterday. I'm happy about that. I don't care what anybody says. I'm happy about that. The only thing is when Jimmy gets on the field and he lets it go, there might be an interception, but he makes a play on one of those throws, right? And so it's almost like, I kind of wanted old Jimmy back. Take those chances, bro.
Yeah, and that just tells me that something wasn't right with this game plan. Because, and I don't mean to repeat myself, but you saw when they needed to move the ball and Kyle went back to the basics, they went right down the field. That ball was a dime to Juszczyk. I'm sorry.
Dime. 41-yarder.
But then when he was in the shotgun with two backs next to him, they motioned one out. He just stood there. Like, okay. How many times the ball bobbled in his hand? It wasn't because of the snap. It's just how many times you see him pat the ball. And then the one play in the end zone with Kendrick Bourne. Okay.
That was a game winner.
I can't remember if he was in the shotgun or not. I'm not going to say it. But I remember him taking a hop step forward, patting, and then he ripped it. If he didn't take that hop step and pat that ball, it was 6 all day. The Niners win the game. The second throw I'm going to talk about was the Trent Taylor throw.
That was late. That's late. That throw has to be out before his break is moving.
That ball should have been delivered to the sideline the minute he planted his outside foot.
Yep.
If it was thrown that way, first down.
first down.
Trent still almost caught that ball. It was high, it was behind, but he still made a play for it, and I think his one hand hit it or something. But
no, it was. I think it's a PBU, and I think that he got his hands on it too. Still somehow, I have to.
Really?
I can't remember what's top of my head.
But it's the little shit, and I think it comes to the footwork.
Yep. And then you know what's crazy about that too, right? Is all we heard in training camp from fans on Twitter. Trent Taylor is gonna rip it up, Pro Bowl. What is it? This communication that him and Jimmy have, they're on a different level. That didn't look like that right there because, like Tony said, that throw's late. That throw needs to be before the break. Like, remember the throw to Emmanuel Sanders when we covered the film breakdown and it was
Carolina.
Yeah, no. Against Arizona when he ran the out route,
Jimmy
threw it before he even turned his head. When he turned around, the ball was in his belly. He caught it out of self-defense. Like that's how that throw had to go.
Like I don't mean to talk about last season, but when they first acquired Emmanuel Sanders and they forced Denver to trade and make the decision that week because they wanted to put Emmanuel Sanders versus Carolina, that one throw he made to him, he stepped back and Jimmy threw the ball before he even broke. And you saw there was a window between the two defenders. He went from behind one defender and he looked and the ball was right there. And that's what it comes down to, where he's not – he's reverting to the beginning of last season because he doesn't have crafty route runners, speed guys that create separation. He has more possession chain moving guys, multiple. Right. And you don't create separation, and defenses don't respect that if there's no speed on the field. So with that being said, where pre-Emmanuel Sanders, he was throwing to the wide receiver. Post-Emmanuel Sanders, he was throwing to a spot. That's the difference, and you're seeing it happen. You saw it happen versus Arizona. He was trying to put it in spots in the numbers instead of throwing it into spots.
Right.
If he was able to throw to spots, you could have a different game.
It's different.
Can I point out something else too that I really, really, really like? Because we seem to be, talking about, like I said, guys, all this stuff is fixable. The team's gonna be fine. Guys. Don't worry about it. But I was really impressed with Raheem Mostert yesterday because of his route running. Okay. Yes. What I mean by that is last year he was kind of limited. So the points are like where they weren't gonna run, like they would run a design screen to him when they would run everybody the other way and just throw it back to him. That option route, which was the touchdown on Isaiah Simmons, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. They even had him split out wide. So Raheem Mostert has done everything that he said he was going to do in the offseason. He bulked up. He wants to have those goal line carries, and now he's adding this to his repertoire. I have to say that I walked away from this game very impressed with the additions to Raheem Mostert's game. And we just have to hope that we don't have to rely on those sort of things going forward, right? Because clearly we were hampered by who we had out there. So
yeah. All right, bro. Let's talk about Kendrick Bourne. Played 62 snaps. He wasn't targeted until the third quarter.
KB?
As soon as he was targeted, both times. First down completions.
On third down, too.
What's going on, man?
I have to see the all 22 because I can't tell on the broadcast. That's the reason that, I am saying that the receivers were struggling to create separation, but I need to see it up top. I need to see it from there. Because if there are guys creating separation and Jimmy's not seeing them, that's a problem. But if nobody's getting open,
there was a couple instances where it was, I think they were inside the 30-yard line, and Jimmy, did his thing, pat, look, try to move around, and then he got sacked, I think, or he threw it away. And if you look, the one camera angle, you see literally Jet McKinnon. I think he ran like an out, and then he just decided to take it across the back of the end zone. Dude, you see him just go like this. Wide open. No one was there, and Jimmy did not even see him. And it's the same thing that happened in the Super Bowl with Kittle sitting in the middle of the field.
Wasn't that batted down, though, by Chris Jones?
No, he checked it down.
Okay.
The one that you're talking about was batted down. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But the one where he was completely free, where he sat in between the zone, the window, he was wide open, and Jimmy just did not see it.
Wait, did somebody say that we're going to get Julio? God, I'd love that. That's never going to happen, but I'd love it, man. Holy cow.
Man, he said trade a first, Dante Pettis, and Witherspoon.
Yeah, I saw that. That's not happening.
Please
Yeah,
stop.
the Falcons. Look, the Falcons are dumb. I wish, man. Man, goodness gracious, to add the best wide receiver in football, man. Whew, I'd take it.
All right, man. So, all right. Jet McKinnon averaged 8 yards per carry yesterday.
On how many carries though?
3.
See, that's a weird stat. Your yards per carry, that's hard after 3. The sample size is 2.
Why, bro? Look, on one play he had 16 yards, and then the other ones he had 6 yards per carry. He needs to get more carries.
On a bright spot, he looked good.
He did, man. He did. He looks a little slow, but that's rust. But yeah man, I got a little, just a little. He still still hasn't opened it up yet. I think he still can be faster for sure. And I think
his first touch, he looked a little skittish running the ball.
A little bit, just a little bit. Again,
and then as the game went on, you saw him go and go and go.
Right.
So
now remember
to break that ice.
Here's one more thing too that I was impressed with. And again, when McKinnon gets his feet wet like he did yesterday, and he scored a touchdown, right? That wheel route throw that Jimmy had for him. If Jimmy puts his foot in the ground and really nails that, he still barely missed him too. Barely missed him. That's gonna be hard for anybody to cover. And those routes are usually for Juszczyk, right? The wheel route. Kyle pulls that play out when he needs something. Against Seattle starts in week 17. Seattle starts to build their momentum. Boom. Wheel route play with Kyle Juszczyk down the field. Large gain. Same thing. He needed a spark right there to get them moving. And that's the play that he dialed up right there. So it's the play that he goes to a lot. But if we can add somebody faster like Jet to run those and he can open it up, because I know he has another gear. It's just that, he hasn't played football in how many years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, one just quick thing. I gotta just jump off, guys, because I gotta go upstairs with the kids. But I just want to say something. If last season, if you watch Kyle's plan of attack, his game plan, his scheme, his play calling. Sorry, when he was in the zone, one play set up another. So he would run a play in the second quarter at the 13:26 mark. And mid-drive, he would run this play, and it would be like, an action boot, or the jet sweep or like an outside zone. And then in the third quarter, he'll come run the same play, same formation, same personnel, and attack downfield. You did not see that this game. Kyle's theory, when he calls a game, one play sets up another play down the game.
Yeah.
All the defensive knows, they're in this formation, they're probably going to run that play again, and then boop, someone's behind the secondary or behind the second level of the defense, the linebackers, for a 15 to 20-yard gain on a dig route or a deep crosser. So I didn't see that. Kyle really didn't hit his rhythm. A lot of the throws were kind of Jimmy's fault, the reason why we lost this game, but they're all pretty much correctable things. No one.
Wait a minute. Real quick. I have a question.
The Dolphins or the Cincinnati Bengals
or the New York Jets are
Cowboys
week 2
or
opponent. The New York Jets yesterday played a football game.
Shut up.
Football.
Shut up.
Football.
Just stop.
We play them next week. If we lose to them, they get scared. They look horrific. The Jets are awful.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, the Jets are getting blown out.
If we don't beat them by 375 points, we got an issue.
They're getting blown out. The defense is going to get at least 5 to 8 sacks, I think. I'm calling it right now. This defensive line is going to eat versus him. He's a pocket quarterback, and he's going to go get him. I'm telling you.
Here's my score prediction. Niners, 854. Jets, 3.
Right.
Get them out of here. We better blow them out. Blow them out.
Niners all day should be the cleanup crew. Okay, I think I ain't gonna get you out of here, but you're gonna go on timeout for a second. All right, how about that? So let's talk about the snap discrepancy between Jordan Reed and Dante Pettis. Dante Pettis had 57 snaps. He was targeted twice and 0 catches. He had a 50.4 PFF. Jordan Reed, he played 10 snaps. He had 2 targets, caught both of them, had a first down, and he had a 71.7 PFF. That means 7 out of the 10 plays, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Okay. Why didn't Kyle Shanahan implement Jordan Reed into this offense, especially in the second half when George was obviously nicked up and they were double teaming him with a spy over the top of him the rest of the game. Why? Is there? I mean, bro, it's a contact sport. I'm tired of hearing this. Oh, we're easing him in. No. This is NFL. It's not for long. It don't work like that. If you have a weapon, Jordan Reed is a weapon.
What the?
What happened, Tony?
This guy just said tank for Trevor Lawrence. Oh my God!
Right, so what I'm noticing in these comments, right? There's people that are the comments. I'm looking at the comments for the first time that I've ever done any of these, right? What I noticed is that there's a lot of people that want to join in the conversation, have valid points, want to ask questions, and I noticed that there's some people in here that are just trying to stir the pot and say anything. So, yeah, tank for Trevor. Come on, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I gotta run, fellas.
All right, bro.
It was fun. Let me know. We'll do this again, definitely.
All right, bro. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Right. Peace. All right. Man,
don't get Tony pissed. What, he goes off like I did yesterday? Promise you that's never going to happen again.
Tony is real calm, and when he goes bad, he goes bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to understand as to why Jordan Reed wasn't implemented into the game plan. And I don't know.
That's I don't ask me, Dre. I think that we have to wait. Kyle's gonna talk in 30 minutes. I hope we should get on the horn and text Grant and be like, yo, ask this question about Jordan Reed. Like, I need to know at least, like, if he's gonna give that vanilla answer, that's fine. But somebody needs to ask him because he might say something else.
Yeah.
You know what else too, Dre? I think that Kyle Shanahan, what he does sometimes, right? And I think he did this in the Atlanta game too, is Shanahan's not trying to put a lot of things on film when it comes to the 21, right? Like, not almost like he's giving the game away, but I don't think he wants to show everybody everything just yet. And I think that he thought he can get by with his vanilla game plan beating the Cardinals this time. And again, it's the same thing with Atlanta. But he didn't want to put anything on film for the Seahawks to see for Week 17, right? Like stuff like that. So I don't know. Like, do you think that that's something that goes through Kyle's mind when he puts these game plans together against a team that we should beat? Like, we're gonna do enough to get this game done. You can't obviously predict the block punt, the penalties, any of that stuff. But do you think that Kyle just kind of looks at it like, I can put this simple game plan together. We can take this team down, but I don't want to give away the bag of tricks because we're gonna need it down the line.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it was available for us to have an ugly win yesterday. I mean, we've done it before, and I just feel like there is no reason for not using Jordan Reed. It's just not, man. Line up in 22 personnel and dominate the Cardinals, which we could do exactly like we did the Vikings, which is a way better defense. Like, the Vikings defense is worlds away from the Cardinals defense, period, point blank, right? And so there is just no applicable excuse for not using Jordan Reed. There just isn't. I don't care what Kyle says. I don't want to hear anything.
Trey, people are asking, and I'm only doing this because I know the reaction that is going to get out of you. People are asking in the comments about if you watched the Seattle game and what you thought about Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams gave up 8 receptions for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns, missed 3 tackles, and I don't give a damn about a safety who could rush the quarterback and get a sack. It doesn't impress me. He was trash on coverage.
I knew you were going to give that answer, so
I watched the entire game. He was trash on coverage. And the Seahawks, they got some pretty good breaks on their drives as far as getting penalties to extend drives. Also, the Falcons gave up 2 touchdowns on 4th down. Matter of fact, it was 1 4th and 7. What is his name? DK Metcalf. He hadn't caught the ball yet. And the 4th and 7, he's wide open down the field and they scored a touchdown. So, no, Jamal Adams is what he is. He's great. He's a great safety in the box. He is able to identify run plays immediately and get to the ball. But coverage, he's grass.
He's going
to get you.
What I noticed too.
Go
ahead. You got it.
He's going to get used like Simmons did today.
So, when I watched their game again, I think the thing that really stuck out to me, like I talked about yesterday, was the philosophical change from the way the Seattle Seahawks really run it. I know we shouldn't be talking about them, but they are, they are in our division, right? And this is a philosophical change as far as, Brian Schottenheimer wants to make football back into the 1930s where run on first down, run on second down, maybe throw on third. You might want to run it again. This time, 14 first downs, 14 first down passes. Highest in the league when they were the bottom of the league last year. This might be them finally, and God, this makes me nervous, just putting the ball in Russell Wilson's hands and letting him create, man. Like it's going to be tough, man. We got lucky because Schottenheimer always wanted to dial Russell Wilson back for whatever reason. Now, I don't know if they start to go this way, that offense becomes much more explosive, man, because, look, we're 49ers fans, we're faithful and everything. Russell Wilson's good, man. I'm sorry. You guys know it. He's good. He's really good. And he's going to be a thorn in our side. So I'm nervous. I want to see week 2 to see if that continues.
Can you name one starting defensive back in Atlanta starting defense?
Yeah. Kennard? Yes, Kennard. Boom.
What's his first name?
Don't know. But you're right. No, but you're right about that. But it is so. All right. So that's.
And Russell Wilson was sacked 4 times in the first half. That's what makes me feel good. And he wasn't so irky jerky and running the ball. So, this is the thing, man. And this is really what I don't like about this, right? Seattle came out firing on offense. They got some calls, you know what I'm saying, that help extend drives also. And then it's like, everybody wants to compare us to the Seahawks or the Rams. The thing is, from top to bottom, we're still the better team.
Wait, that's not me. I didn't say that. Somebody said in the comments.
We're still the better team, right? We're missing Debo. We're missing Ayuk. We're missing Julian Taylor, who's going to be back. We're missing Ronald Blair. We're missing some pieces, guys. Raheem Mostert is not playing gunner on special teams no more, so it changes the dynamic of our special teams. It's a lot of stuff that has happened. And one thing I did see is if they weren't blitzing Jamal Adams or another safety, they couldn't get pressure on Matt Ryan. So I'm happy about that because our offensive line is better than theirs, right? So I'm not necessarily worried about them. Yeah, man, it's we've gone over an hour. I really want to hear what Kyle Shanahan has to say.
About 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, in about 20 minutes. We might double up and come back just for a second if you're free.
Yeah, bro. I'm good. I'm about to watch. In my backyard, the Steelers are about to play the Giants in about an hour. So yeah, I'll be sitting here, and if I got to put the TV on for my daughter again, you got it.
Yeah. All right, bro. All right, yeah, man. So with that being said, man, we really appreciate you guys for checking in with us. All of the support. And you guys have to remember, we're not a nation. We're the 49ers faithful, bro.
So can you explain that to me? Because, all right, in Jersey, right, we don't, there's not many 49ers fans out here,
No, David Yang, I don't have you blocked, bro. I can see all your I can see you, bro.
Do you have me blocked? If not, unblock me. Oh.
He's not blocked. I seen this comment.
I think that I just don't understand because there's such a like on one side it's nation, on one side it's empire, on one side it's faithful. Like can somebody clue me in like who's from the West Coast on that? Like what is the
faithful? The faithful was what the 49ers have always been, and then there was an offspring called the 49ers Nation. And it's a lot of subdivision groups from different states, but the faithful are what we are because we always have to remain faithful, bro. We're what I'm saying? We're a faithful empire, so it's a big difference, right?
Cool.
So yeah. But yeah, man, with that being said, we might come back to you guys a little bit later to diagnose what Kyle Shanahan had to say. Don't panic.
Yeah, guys, man. It's fine. Everything's gonna be fine, guys. Okay, look.
I seen the overreaction was just
this morning. It was really bad. I thought yesterday was bad, but people, I thought that I was gonna wake up this morning and people were gonna be able to process things better. But I have people on my that I've seen on my timeline calling for Alex Smith, calling for Colin Kaepernick. Guys, settle down, please. Settle down. And I'm a Cap fan. That's my guy. Don't get it twisted. Cap deserves to be somewhere. I'm not about to take Kaepernick over Jimmy Garoppolo right now.
Hey, put it like this, man. Brady had 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks, and he threw a pick 6, and they lost because of that pick 6. Do you think the Bucs are worried about that? They're not. They're going to make adjustments.
Yeah,
just like everybody else. You know, the Eagles were up 17-0 in a divisional game, and they lost by 10 points.
And let me also point out some other things that if you guys didn't think we were going to beat the Jets, guess who's not playing this week? Le'Veon Bell. Who we getting? Let's go, Frank. I'm happy to see him. But look, the other thing
he's about to get that work.
The Eagles are banged up. Nolan Johnson, Brandon Graham's in the concussion protocol. They just lost another lineman. They look, but also kudos to Washington. Chase Young is a man. He's a man.
Yeah, but you know,
I mean, it was their offensive line, but he looked great, man. Those Ohio State rushers, man, you do not sleep, man.
They different, yeah, yeah, man. With that being said, hey, bro, stay on when we end the stream. I want to highlight you real quick.
Yeah,
we're gonna end it with KB. We appreciate and love you guys.
This is Kendrick Bourne from the San Francisco 49ers. You're watching the Niners All Day Show. What up, Bronze? What up, Dre? Let's get it, man. Yee!
All right, guys, we're going. See you guys probably in a little